What
What's
up?
going on? What's up, guys? How you doing?
Chilling.
Malignaggi, how you doing, paisano?
All right. What's going on,
Is
guys?
that Paulie?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
What
What's up,
boy?
James? What's up,
Yeah.
Tim? How you guys doing?
What's happening with you?
Paul, you
All right.
seem very relaxed.
Very
Yeah,
relaxed.
well,
Always
I'm on my,
relaxed. Nah,
I'm
fight.
on my, I'm on my couch.
Good for you. Good for you.
What he's up? What he's up to?
Chilling. Talking about their fight that you and me are going to be commentating.
Nice, nice. So
Yeah.
where in Mexico is this fight?
I have no
In,
idea.
it's in Agua Caliente.
Aguas.
Agua
I,
Caliente.
oh, okay. All right. That's Baja California.
No, no,
Where?
no. It's in the middle. It's in the middle of the map, down in
Oh, damn, that's
Mexico.
far.
It's
Oh,
a
you,
beautiful.
you
It's a
motherfuckers put it out
beautiful
there.
city.
You guys move far.
Hey, man. Hey, me and
Yeah.
James don't play. We don't play. We know what's up.
Yeah, that's it. You guys went down there.
That should be deep, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
it's deep in the cut, but it's a beautiful city, man. It's more Aztec and Mayan influence.
Ruins? Ruins?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
Oh,
cool,
it is?
cool.
yes. Very nice, very
Hmm.
beautiful. A friend of
I look
mine,
forward to seeing it. Man. Cool.
his family is from that part of Mexico.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing it,
Yeah.
man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Paulie, what's up? You got this fight coming up, huh?
Yeah, next week.
Who you
We
who
fighting
you
that.
fight?
I'm finding a TikTok guy, Corey B. The,
Man,
the,
TikTok.
you better represent the fight.
Yo,
You better rep.
it's funny. I'm not even gonna lie. I train. I've just been doing some jogging. I didn't train any at all until today, and I was doing some sparring today. I was doing some sparring today, and I always, when guys weren't as good as me, I always used to try to copy James. I couldn't do what James did against good fighters. I wasn't good enough at it to do that little rolls on the inside. But against like lesser fighters, I would practice it and do it good. So I was sparring like lower level guys today, and I was working on it because I like the mental pressure that brings. You know, you roll right in somebody's face. I
Absolutely.
want to do that. I want to do that to the guy next week. Not even hit him hard because I don't want to put him out of his misery. I want to suffer the whole round. See, and so I want to stay in space and roll and dip onto the body and do all that. I feel like he's on a low enough level that I can copy James and not and not take the shots. So I can't do it. I can't do it with James because
Yeah.
I don't know
Hey,
if I can do
crazy James.
but
Hey,
I like to do that
not,
right in his face.
nothing for nothing. James Toney is the master of slipping.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't get better than James.
I
yeah, man.
That's just. I don't care what you say, who you are. James
That's the way
Toney.
you fight on the inside, man. I mean, people used to say, "Oh, you got to watch Mexican fighters," and this. I used to watch James Toney for inside fights, man.
Thank you, man. I
That was
appreciate that.
man. That
I
was
appreciate it.
shit, man.
James, is
That
there any
was unbelievable to watch.
that you looked up to, James, that you kind of based a little bit of your style
I
from?
used to watch. You know which fight I used to watch at James? I watched about two fights a lot. I used to watch Vasily Girov, the Girov fight, and I used to watch the first Mike McCallum fight. The first
Yeah.
Mike. I used to
They
listen.
robbed me. They robbed me.
Yeah, yeah, they robbed. It was a draw, and I remember the first Mike McCallum fight is two highly skilled guys with James' energy. You can see who wins a fight. But you beat him in the rematch, right, James? You beat him in the
Yeah.
rematch.
Both
Yeah.
Yeah.
fights.
But I remember there's just so much skill in that fight. I used to love watching that fight because
Yeah.
it's just two like super skilled guys, and there's so much depth to what you're watching. You know, the naked eye, if you don't have an educated eye, doesn't catch the amount of levels that
What was that, James?
He had the most skill of any fighter I ever fought.
yeah,
The most
McCallum.
skill, period.
yeah, yeah,
James, was there
really
any
unappreciated.
James, was there anybody who influenced you?
Yeah, Tommy Hearns, my idol right there. Tommy Hearns, Sherry Robinson, as a child, Archie Moore, all those who went.
But none of those
I,
guys have kind of defense.
but if you look at everything as a child did, yes, he did.
Yeah,
As a child, he invented the shoulder roll.
just perfected it.
I, I, I just perfected it. Made it turn defense into offense.
Yeah. Wow. Corey, I was almost going to go down to Gleason's to watch that Corey today. I came this close to going down. I didn't end up. I'm just
What were you gonna do? What were you gonna do? Punk him? Don't make sure he gets to the fight.
curious.
Don't prevent him from getting to the fight.
Nah, I wanted to see. I just wanted to see, like, get a feel for, because none of us has seen what he has at all.
No, no, and next week you're not really gonna see what he has either.
Sorry, man.
Nah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. So you're not gonna go hard on him, Paulie?
I I want to just teach him what boxing is. If you go in there and just smash somebody, they don't get the full effect. I feel like if you can go in there and box me, and I can get in your face and keep you there long enough to make you keep suffering for a duration as long as you can take it. I feel like like the kids I was boxing today, for example, they're not on my level. I was doing James stuff on them. When you're doing it, when you can do what James does, to a guy who's of 11. Look, only James could do it to world class fighters. But when you could do it to a guy who's below you, like they suffer, bro, because you're in their face. You're in their face, rolling, digging the body, just bumping them, just rolling around, and just you're constantly in their face. So they're just mentally getting broken and tired, even without you beating them up terribly. And it's just suffering.
It's kind of like what you said about Conor McGregor, right? You said that when you would put that.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because that's a lot of what I employed in the McGregor sparring I did because I wasn't in great shape, so I kind of had to figure a way to not burn energy to put him in his face and break him. But what do you do when I would get inside that close? He would just hold. All
Yeah,
you do is when I was that close, he would just hold. He was
yeah,
all the time.
yeah. That kind of style, James. You know better than anybody. That gives you a real edge because you're wearing people down emotionally and physically. Because you're just on them.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
me too.
And it conserves energy too because you're in his face. James, I heard you didn't like to run. You just sparred. You just sparred on.
Oh man,
Have you-
I ran early in the morning, but hey, it was preferred to me, but I had to do it. I did, got it done, and it was a pain in the ass, long. It was 8 long miles, 8 slow long miles.
so,
It don't matter how fast you go, as long as you get done.
It doesn't matter how long, how far, how fast you run, how far you run, as long as you get it done.
yeah, as long as you get it done, it's right. It's right.
But what happened, Bill Miller? I had to make sure I had to get every mile done. 8 miles, we're doing it every day.
Yeah.
I like
Mhm.
Tommy Hearns and everybody else calling him. He's just trained and running that far.
Yo,
Yeah.
James, we spoke with Iran Barkley like 2 days ago. Didn't you say he was one of the hardest punchers you ever got in there with?
Who?
Barkley.
No. Murray Sosa.
Was Barkley one of them?
Bucky wasn't close. He didn't touch me.
I stand.
A lot of people say that about Murky Sosa, bro.
Yeah,
It's
Roy.
crazy.
Hey,
Right?
Murray Sosa can punch. The guy can really
Murky,
punch. Yes, he can.
Roy Jones.
he just didn't have a great chin, right? He just didn't have a great chin.
I've tried it 3 times.
Yo, what's funny? Murky Sosa was training for a couple. When I first started boxing, like probably late '90s, maybe even early 2000s. Murphy Sosa was back in Lisa's gym. He was training. I used to see him every day, bro. But that guy was a character, bro. That guy was off a little bit though.
You didn't like you do.
None. He was just
Hey,
like
crazy.
say off the
Crazy.
wall shit, like just randomly like come up. You're in the middle of a conversation, so he just come up to you and he'll tell you some random off the wall shit, like motherfucker, where you come from, bro? What are you saying?
Hey, he didn't even know.
But he was a
He
nice
didn't
guy,
even
but
know that.
you could tell he was off. He was a little bit
Nice
off,
guy.
bro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And most of us are most of us a little bit off to do this sport.
Yeah, it's true.
We can point a lot of fingers at all of us.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, that's what I tell people. I said you can't be normal to do this for a living. So there's something a little bit off about you to
Hell
begin with,
no.
and then,
No, you
and then
can't.
there's different
No, you
levels of
can't
being
not.
off. And you guys notice every boxing gym has their cast of characters.
Yup.
You guys know that
Oh,
every boxing has they, and then there's like the extreme characters. Every boxing gym has a few of the extreme characters too, bro. Like I know my gym had it, and I know I've been in a few other gyms that had those guys too. It's like, and you talk,
yeah, me and Marco have one.
and you talk about those guys like those cast of characters. There's always a handful of characters. Every gym has it. Everybody knows who they are. It's so weird, and everybody remembers it. Like I remember all the weirdos in all the gyms I trained.
Oh yeah,
LA,
yeah.
LA
What's
traffic
the
is
name?
the worst.
The
Oh, tell him,
worst,
man.
the worst.
Besides Russia. Besides,
London is bad too. I never been to
yeah,
Russia, but
London is
London is
bad,
bad.
but Russia takes the cake, man. That shit.
Moscow is worse than London traffic.
Moscow.
Man, I never been. I never been. I
Yeah,
never been.
you ain't missing. You're not missing nothing.
Except for traffic,
Seven traffic, yeah.
Paulie,
huh?
you in Brooklyn now?
No, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I just came down here. I just got back. I spent here. I stay here for the whole season. I only in New York like for the summer.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't really stay in
nice.
New York.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't really stay in New York anymore. Nah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. It's you kind of outgrow it. You get too much of a pain in the ass being
So,
up there
Hey,
now, man.
so when you're in Florida, what do you do?
I just
Tell
kind
me,
of chill, bro. You know, I just kind of chill. You know, it's more chill. It's more. I don't know. I got friends here. There's more stuff to do. You know, I just come down here with my girl and just kind of lay back and chill, bro. I'm 40, bro. You know, I'm not looking for the next party anymore. You know.
Oh, poor baby, you're 40, poor baby.
so Paulie, let's say Corey B comes at you hard. You gonna step on the gas a little bit?
Yeah, but if he comes, here's the thing, bro. The more effort you put in, the worse it's gonna be. So you know, I mean, we'll see. You know, like we'll see. If he gets too aggressive, I'm gonna just drop him to the body, bro. I'm gonna drop him body shots. You know, because the person about an aggressive person who's a novice is they're gonna open up their arms too much and open up their body,
So
so they can be countered to the
Yeah,
body
you
and
got
ripped to the
big
body.
fat elbows.
for people watching, that Paulie's fighting as he just started boxing like 4 months.
Yeah. I think like 6 months ago. Yeah,
I,
What?
wow,
yeah.
wow.
You're fighting a
I
guy
know.
with 6 months
It's
boxing?
like
Yeah, I don't know, 6, 7 months, something like that. You know,
it's
yeah.
a little crazy that somebody could think that they could get in the world.
Well, you know what it is? I get a lot of
Crazy.
negative press. I get a lot of negative, like my bad hands, I punch, and I'm old, you know, all this stuff. So
The
I
world.
think it gives people, I think it gives people a false sense of reality. You know?
That's yeah, because people who don't know boxing don't realize you can't even get there with a
But,
contender.
but who knows boxing? Who knows? Even the people in boxing don't know boxing. You know?
People in boxing don't, and the people in boxing
Nah, they
today
don't.
really don't know
They don't.
boxing. True story,
They
facts.
don't. Yeah, they don't. They don't. You know,
Yeah,
they what?
I mean,
Like you know how you understand. You know when you understand a lot. You're in the gyms every day. None of these media guys are in the gyms every day. If
Hell,
you would get me a person who would be in the gyms every day, you can't just show up on fight night and think you're gonna get it. You got to be in the gyms day in and day out and see the little details of everything
Yup.
to really understand fully how deep this sport is. From a sport level, forget the business. From the sport level,
Yup.
the intricacies,
I
the
completely
intricacies that
agree
are
with you.
there. And no media does that, because that's the hard part. Being in the gym every day, they don't even have to do the workouts. We do the workouts, but they don't. They still don't want to be in the gyms every day. They'd rather just show up on fight night from their press seat and just watch the fight and then give their opinion. But everybody can do that. Just because you sat ringside at a bunch of fights, you're no better than the fan who's watching at home,
Yeah.
watching it every weekend. You know what I mean? You're only showing up on fight night. So
Yeah.
when you're in the gyms a lot, that really makes you understand it.
So
I'm not even saying you have to do it. I mean, doing it obviously is another level, but if you're in the gyms every day, really observing every day, then you'll get a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, people don't understand, like, big difference between getting a street
so
fight and boxing. Huge
Yeah,
difference.
of course. Nobody's breaking up a boxing match. A street fight, is getting broken up in 30 seconds.
But it's,
So
I feel like it takes a lot more balls for somebody to know. Look, you're signing the contract. You're going to fight date.
oh no, you're stuck. Not only that, a street fight is usually spur of the moment, so you don't have to think about it for 6 months. You know what I mean? Like a boxing match is on your mind, the preparation and everything, and then you don't have the option for somebody to save you in that way. I mean, you do, the referee, but you really can't afford to, because you're on TV, you're in front of a crowd, you're basically risking your reputation from a global perspective.
That's the shit I hate about the current, like, all the YouTubers, is because they think it's just easy and they could go in and do it and they could be successful. It's about the
Yeah, yeah. I
so
mean, it's basically a market for them at this point now. There's pros and cons to the YouTube thing, because they're getting the thing I noticed about the Jake Paul fight. I gotta say, the Jake Paul and Woodley fight. I saw the faces of the crowd did not look like your typical boxing crowd. And
no.
it was full. So if they can bring in another kind of generation into the mix, and they stay okay. If they're just there for the Paul fight, okay, it's a problem. But if bring in this kind of crowd, hopefully they'll appreciate the real fighters as well.
And that's the question along when these guys move on to something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this whole YouTube phenomenon might be here for a while. Personally,
It's a
personally, I
fad
think
right now.
it's a fact. Personally, I think these guys should start managing fighters. Because if these fighters start managing fighters, or promoting fighters, they can sign a bunch of them, and there'll be so much attention on these fighters, and they can sign real fighters, like out of the amateurs, or out of like sign real prospects, and you can get them so much marketability that way. You know what I'm saying? So personally, I think that would be the way to go. Personally, so they don't have to do the fighting, because they're kind of lacking in that department. If they start signing real talent and managing them, then start posting about them on their social media. I mean, you're gonna get all their followers who start following these fighters. I mean, you're gonna give instant credibility to real good young fighters, and then boost their careers tremendously.
Yeah. You back, Jeremy? What's going on?
yeah, I just feel like I'm in the dark, man. Nobody can see me. I'm like my pretty face is not pretty in the dark. So I figured rather when I got home and like shit, I'm in LA, so I can get home and like I'm really 5 minutes away from my house. It's gonna take 20.
Hey,
That's just LA in general.
a question for James and Paulie. How do you guys see the Wilder Fury fight going?
So what now?
Wilder Fury. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think Wilder can win. Because Tyson's been this decade's Buster Douglas. Partying, having fun, anything is serious. You see what happened? You see what happened to Douglas? The same thing happened to him.
Okay. What do you think, Paulie?
I,
He,
I think
he's,
Fury,
he's just happy to be here right now. He's just happy to be here.
Mm.
I think Fury stops. I think Fury stops Wilder. I don't think Wilder can fight going backwards. There's some fighters who don't do well going backwards. Some very good fighters, don't do well going backwards.
I mean,
I think
if
Wilder's one of those people.
Wilder can employ what Malik Scott's been teaching him, then it'll be a different ballgame. But do you guys think, as
If
fighter, former current fighter,
if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, but she doesn't, so she's my aunt.
Yeah.
But when usually, typically, in my history of being in boxing, the fighters that there's some very very good fighters, by the way, they didn't do well going backwards, and it's just it's a flaw that even if they were excellent fighters, even better fighters than me, they still it was a kryptonite flaw once they got backed up that they couldn't deal with it anymore. Even guys like Julio Cesar Chavez, you backed him up, it was a problem. Uh,
right?
my own opponent, Zab Judah, I realized if I can back up Zab, he's a different fighter. He's a different level of fighter. He diminishes. There are certain very, very good fighters who just completely change when they are backed up consistently, and they just become completely ineffective. I don't know if it's a mental block. I don't know, because I was always the guy who fought going backwards, so I don't know. I can't relate to that particular issue, but I see that Wilder has the same problem, and for me, Fury is gonna stop him again.
I think what Jeremy said was once Wilder gets hit a few times, he's gonna go back to what he knows. And like I
Yep.
was,
Exactly. But still, by then, Tyson be hurt.
well, I was gonna ask you guys, do you think it's feasible, it's possible to teach a fighter like Wilder, who's fought one way his whole career, a brand new style in just whatever 8 months, whatever it's been? Do you think that's possible?
A lot of patience. A lot of patience, man. That will be very hard to do. I don't think it can be done, but God bless him.
You don't be done.
I think a trainer can teach a fighter little nuances. I can say I learned something from all my training. Some were better than others, but I feel like I took a little something from all my trainers. Some I took from more than others, but regardless, I still feel like I learned from everybody I had. Um, but it doesn't mean that you're going to change my identity as a fighter. As a matter of fact, if you change my identity as a fighter, you're probably going to make me regress. So I think Wilder can be adjusted a little bit, but I think his identity as a fighter is going to be what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can tell the difference between Tyson Fury now, and then he was hungry. Now he's not. Wilder is hungry. He wants it. I mean,
I don't know, man.
he's gonna come for him. He's gonna come
I saw a
for him
post.
fast.
I saw a post from Fury about 7 weeks ago, and he said, "Turning off my phone. I'll see you guys on fight week or something like that."
Well,
So I mean,
But
I don't
if
know.
he's turning off his phone 7 weeks out, I mean he's
but
super focused,
I
man.
think what James is saying, and you guys both can attest to this, when you knock somebody out, clean out, and your head gets big, does that make a fighter sometimes be like, fuck it, I don't need to try?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that can happen. Of course, I think that's part of the psychology of it. But when I was told the explanation, they asked Tyson Fury, when did you know you were going to knock out Deontay Wilder? And he said round 12 of the first fight. And I thought he was bullshit. I was like, yeah, all right, round 12 of the first fight. I knew he was gonna knock out. But then when he gave his explanation, he said something very interesting. He said, I was almost out and I was ready to be knocked out. He said, and I had no choice to try to survive, or otherwise Wilder was going to stop me. So I had no choice but to fight him off and come forward and fight him off. And when
But
I did
see,
that, I saw that I was able to hurt him and bust him up a little bit.
but
And
the
I
thing
realized
is,
that right there. That this guy, you don't fight, you don't box him, you take it to him and back him up. And I told him, and when that 12 round bell rang, I went back to my corner and I told my corner, look at me, man, you're going to knock this guy out. Sure enough, that's what happened.
But see, if
And
Wilder
it's
had,
funny.
but see, if Wilder was a skillful fighter, that wouldn't have happened. You feel me?
Yeah, of
But
course, but he's
Wilder,
so big. That's the
by
problem.
all means, Wilder is not a stylish fighter, a boxer. He's a bomber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a
All he
bomber.
goes one way. I
Cool,
think right now,
but he
this
gotta be
time,
set to throw those bombs.
with Malik in his corner, when you teach you how to be patient and try to box a little bit more, it's a bit of an outlook this time.
I think Malik brings a good dimension to Deontay. I
Yeah,
do. I see the work they do, and I think that Malik is very knowledgeable. I think he's always been very knowledgeable, and I think that Wilder can have little nuances where he improves, but I don't think he's scary.
yeah.
I don't think anybody
Hey,
can scare his
Paulie,
brother.
hey,
Yo,
Uncle Paulie, check this out, man, Uncle Paulie. When the fight happens, make sure I get your phone number so I can call you and tell you
all
I
right,
told
all
you
right,
so.
all right. Sounds good. We'll be back on here after the fight
You
Yeah,
so
know
we
it?
can discuss
we'll talk about it.
Alright.
it. All right. I'm actually supposed to be in LA for that fight. I'm gonna watch you with Patrick.
Are you gonna be
I
in?
bet.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And so, what do you guys? What do you think about the Canelo King fight?
I got a plan fight. I got a plan winning the fight because plan can be a better boxer. The best boxer he's fought. Canelo has fought beside me with it. You know what I'm saying? I think Plant is very good mover, a very good condition. He puts punches together very well. Unlike most fighters you fight besides Floyd.
Okay,
I
Paulie.
I don't think anybody gets decisions against Canelo. Even if you beat him, you're gonna get
I
robbed.
I didn't say did I say the decision? I think he gonna stop him.
But stop him. I don't.
I
Canelo.
trust me. Canelo ain't James Toney. You
I
know,
think Caleb
hey,
has tremendous skills.
Paulie, hold on.
Yeah. Go
Canelo is
ahead,
not
champ.
James Toney of the middleweight division. He don't have no
No,
chin like he
no,
can't fight like me.
No.
So you know
no.
what? So important. So the thing is, anybody can get it. He gonna get it. Anybody can get it but me.
What
I think. Listen, I think Caleb has really good skills. I think he's gonna. I think it's a good fight.
What do you think's gonna?
I think I probably edge Canelo, but I think it's funny because I thought Billy Joe had more skills than Canelo, right? But
Yeah.
when
I did too.
the emotion of the fight presents itself, and you're in that arena, and there's all everybody against you, it's so loud, and you can't hear yourself think. Sometimes those little adrenaline rushes and emotions can make you tight. And if you get tight, and if you're a naturally fluid fighter and you fight tight, all of a sudden your reflexes and your skill and your fluidity is not the same anymore. So
Hey,
I'm very curious to see if Caleb remains that fluid under a very tough atmosphere that he's gonna be. That's my and I'm not saying he can't do it, but
I
it's always a, a little variable that you deal with when you're dealing with a mega fight.
well, it seems like with Canelo, the one thing that always changes is when he hits somebody, and then shit always goes left. Yeah.
Yeah,
hey, you
yeah,
right. Hey, you absolutely right about that. But you know what? But you look at the fighters he has been fighting. The Bill Sanders, the Dan Jacobs, everybody but Floyd. You see what Floyd fucked him up.
Yeah.
If Floyd would have taken down all those punches, he would have stopped him.
Yeah. The thing is
I
this,
think,
James. He might not have a James Toney chin, Canelo, but he has a chin because Triple G was catching him clean and
Oh,
nothing.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Triple G also beat him though. He
He did
beat him.
first fight. I thought he beat him too.
He beat him both
Yeah,
fights. I
I
thought.
thought he won both fights.
I thought
I thought Golovkin won. I thought Golovkin won both fights. I thought Triple G won both
But you know,
fights.
hey, it is what it is. Hey, right now Canelo, he's the treat of the day, and everybody liking him. But pretty soon, hey, he gonna run, if he don't run the platinum beating, it may be Charlo, one of the Charlo brothers. Who knows?
Maybe.
Hey.
I think what's his face? Benavidez has a good shot.
Oh, Baby is a beast. He
Yeah.
definitely do. Hey, he's definitely
He got a
gonna
good
do.
chin too. That's a nice little fight right there.
He'll do him in.
That's a
But
big,
I'm curious with the Caleb Plant fight though, because I always feel like jabbers and because Canelo's not a very busy fighter, and jabbers give Canelo boxers and jabbers give Canelo problems because they're busier than him and they kind of pick him apart a little bit. I felt even Cotto with his jab gave Canelo more trouble than I anticipated, considering he was a smaller guy. So I feel like Canelo is so inactive in his fights that the jabbers tend to take rounds from him. So I'm curious to see how he deals with Caleb, because Caleb is a slickster with a good jab, right?
yeah.
It's just that once, like you said, once Canelo lands, even on guys like that, the fight tends to change, and the fight goes south from there.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
when he's not able to completely land, I mean, even like Erislan Lara was giving him a lot of problems throughout the fight. So I'm curious.
I thought he would too. I
Yep.
thought Lara
And that's
was.
exactly what I mean. If Canelo is not able to land these big shots on Caleb to kind of change the momentum of the fight, do
Trust
we
me,
get
he
a
will.
what happens? Do we
He
get robbed?
will.
Because we've already seen if Canelo can't land that big shot, all of a sudden he doesn't know how to change the momentum of the fight. He doesn't
He
know how to
can't.
make the adjustment,
He,
right?
he
So
don't.
I,
He
and that's
don't.
not the hit on Canelo. He's a
And
good fighter, but
he can't
everybody has
fight
to flip it.
backing up.
no.
Yep.
I
And so the thing is, what happens? Do you have another robbery? I mean,
Yup.
do you need like the judges who judge a Canelo fight to be on probation and just have like a security guard watching all three of them and check out the scorecard, make sure they're doing the right thing through 6 rounds. The fighters don't have to know the scorecards, but maybe
Right.
there's a probationary security guard over every judge that should know the scorecards. At
Right.
30 rounds, just to make sure they're doing the right thing.
yeah.
That to me, you need to come
That,
up with something like that, but
but
nobody's
that's
gonna
gonna
do
be,
that.
hey, that's gonna be hard to do in this day, in this
Yeah, they're not
time.
gonna
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
They like to do that. They like the corruption. It's
Yeah.
part of the
Exactly.
sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think a Canelo that you think if Canelo would have fought Floyd, I don't know, 10 years later, and they managed to make it the same catch weight, it would have been the same outcome?
Same outcome. Same outcome. Same. Same.
Paulie,
Floyd, hey, if they
You broke
fought 10
up.
times, Floyd will win 10 times.
what's up, Paulie? Reason.
I said if they fought 10 times,
Same.
Canelo and Floyd, they fought 10 times, Floyd will win all 10 fights.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It just Floyd's old. I mean, you can't. It doesn't count. When the guy gets older, you can't make a fight now. I remember it's like, oh, if they fought now. Floyd's 45 years old. What do you want him to fight now for?
No,
I'm
we
talking
didn't.
about
You missed it, Paulie. We said that what if they would have fought later, like both fought when they were in their
prime
yeah.
Floyd. Prime for prime Floyd.
Floyd still.
Prime Floyd.
I was talking to Buddy McGirt right a little while ago, and he said that the only fighter he thought that could have beat Floyd was Vernon Forrest.
Not a chance.
Not a
I
chance.
I I don't think Vernon. You know why I say Tommy Hearns? Because
Yeah.
Tommy Hearns was such a big
Tommy.
welterweight. You gotta understand something about Tommy Hearns. If Tommy Hearns and Ray Leonard fought in a 12 rounder, Tommy Hearns wins that fight. Tommy Hearns in two fights with Ray
No, you
Leonard,
mean 50.
in two fights,
Yeah.
in two fights with Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns won a ton more rounds because he got robbed in the second fight.
Yeah.
They gave him a draw. He won that fight. So you gotta
They,
understand,
But
Tommy was a
he,
very
he,
difficult.
he,
Tom,
he
Tommy was a very
kicked his
Tommy was
ass
a
in
very
the
difficult
rematch.
guy.
yeah.
Tommy was a very difficult guy to win rounds against. He's a tall,
Yeah.
huge welterweight with monster power, so you couldn't just rush him. And he had a terrific jab, so he controlled you at a distance. It's you could have been better than him, but he still had the tools to beat you. You know what I mean? I think Floyd is a very, very complete welterweight, a very, very complete fighter. But but there's just tools
Very,
that
very.
Tommy that make it very, very difficult to deal with at welterweight. You know,
It
and
was
I think that
it was a difficult fight.
it's a hard
You're
guy to win
right.
rounds against. Very hard guy to win rounds against.
Who do you think, James? Who do you think would have been able to beat Floyd, of from the past?
Maybe Ray Robinson
Yeah,
at 147.
yeah, yeah. You think that's
Uh,
about it?
it would be a good fight between him and Durant. I won't say Durant would win, but he would give him a great fight. Unless it's a well,
Okay,
all the fight.
Aaron Pryor would have given him all he could handle.
Aaron Pryor, the Hawk,
Oof,
no doubt,
what a! I
no
mean,
doubt.
I feel like
Never
he.
had a
Pressure,
bad fight. But remember,
pressure.
guys, here's the thing. Aaron Pryor was a fan-friendly fighter, right? So much fun to watch. But you guys have to understand, the love affair we have with exciting fighters doesn't necessarily make them effective against all styles. Floyd wasn't the most fan-friendly fighter, but he was the most effective fighter. So a lot of times people are so in love with their fan-friendly fighters that they say, oh, he would have beat this guy, he would have beat this guy. A lot of times you got to understand a guy is so fan-friendly because he has enough flaws to be that fan-friendly, you know? It doesn't mean he's not a good fighter. Sometimes they're great fighters that are fan-friendly, but still, the flaws are the
Hey,
flaws. Look at Pacquiao. Pacquiao was so fan-friendly. He couldn't. He looked like he was out of his league against Mayweather. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes, he was.
And so on and so forth. It's just effectiveness. Even Vladimir Klitschko. I say this about Vladimir Klitschko. He was not fan friendly at all, but he was very, very effective. Effectiveness and
Hey,
excitement capacity
hold on.
don't go together.
Hold on. Back this shit right there.
Go ahead, James.
Both Klitschko sisters were effective against bums. Not against real fighters. You see, they dug me for 8 years. It was in the story, and everybody know why this is a Vladimir in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think going back to about Aaron Pryor, I think you're right with most people, but Aaron Pryor was able to put the car in a gear that most fighters couldn't put their car in,
It
and I
was
don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
because at that time they had the bottle Panama Lewis mix, though. You know, what I mean? You
Nah,
were allowed to have the mix
give me a
bottle.
bottle. Give me a bottle. The one that I mix.
But
Yeah,
in the rematch, they didn't have a bottle. He beat him even worse.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, how do you know he didn't have a bottle?
Good
Maybe
point.
just this time I was insane he didn't have the bottle.
Good point.
Yeah. How many times should he get caught on camera?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Hey,
Yeah,
fellas. Oh, shit. My
but
phone must die. My
Yeah.
phone must die.
I'll
Papa
let you
die,
guys
man.
go too, man.
yeah,
I'll let you guys go too. Otherwise, my
Shit.
girl's gonna kill me. Look, he's waiting for me to finish.
all right, don't get mad. Let's
I'll see you later.
after the Wilder fight, let's talk again.
All right, for sure, man. For sure. I'll catch you.